Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my weekly reading recap. I know my last video is sort of like a catch-up weekly reading recap. I was on vacation, now I'm back from vacation, and this video will be posted on Monday like all of my weekly reading recaps typically are. So let's get into it. We got lots to talk about, lots of books to talk about. Maybe some car stuff to talk about as well. That's sort of been top of mind this past week, and this is just sort of a weekly check-in. All things books and whatnot. So, let's start off with the first book. This will be quick. Still currently reading A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. Didn't read any pages of this week. Haven't read it since vacation. I need to get back into this. I've just been trying to finish my other book, and I did like an hour ago. So yeah, this will probably be my focus for this week, getting through this about 45% of the way through it. Obviously, if you're new here, this is in an effort to be set to read James Joyce's Ulysses on Bloomsday, which is June 16th. Before that occurs, I need to read I want to read this. I've already read Dubliners by him. I thought it was fantastic. This is good. I just have to be sort of in the right mindset for it. So reading through this, I want to read Homer's Odyssey. I also want to read Hamlet by Shakespeare. Will I read those 3 works in 2 weeks? Probably not. But alas, here we are. So yeah, we'll chip away at this. This will sort of be the main goal for this upcoming week. That being said, I did just finish a book this week. Started it on vacation about a week and a half ago, and just wrapped it up today. That's Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. Book got 4, 5 in the Throne of Glass series, and this was good. It was definitely my least favorite of the books thus far, and that is solely for the ending. No spoilers, but this is by far the worst ending out of any of the books, in my opinion. I won't get into too much nitty-gritty details. I will, actually. I guess this isn't really spoilers, but this is just like sort of something that irks me. And I know I'm not the intended target audience for a fantasy romance series, but one thing that it doesn't grind my gears per se, but one thing I just notice, and it's really stupid to say because this is a fantasy series and nothing is realistic, literally at all. None of this actually exists. But the romance in this, I just don't see how their feelings could deepen that much in that such short amount of time. I don't really understand it. That's just sort of me as a person. So yeah, and that being said, the main, I guess this is sort of like a spoiler, so mute for 10 seconds, but the main protagonist has had 4 heart tie, you're the one for me, love of her life in 3 years, in 2.5 years essentially of her life. And yeah, and she talks to all of them at the same time. Well, one of them's dead, but you know that in the first book. But yeah, and yeah, so that's I don't know, that's just oh, out of all the shit that you could have picked, that's the one thing. It's yeah, that's sort of I don't know, weird. Not weird, it's just different to me. My brain doesn't really operate that way, so I don't get how that appeals to folks. But other than that, I mean, the story, the fantasy elements of it are good. I noticed there was a heavy-handed dosage of Deus Ex Machina in this book. Just sort of seemingly the right thing happening exactly at the right time, constantly. Which, I mean, it was pretty entertaining, but sort of looking back on the book now that I finished it, that's why I didn't record it. As soon as I finished it, I've been thinking and sitting on this book for about an hour, like I said. Sorry, my climate control is going off, but yeah, a lot of like, oh, that was convenient for the plot to take place in this action and in this manner of events, or that was convenient so so-and-so didn't die or get hurt or whatever. And I get it, it's a book, it's a fantasy book, like who actually cares at the end of the day? But yeah, it's just a bit more heavy-handed in that regard than the other books. Still a good book, 3.5 stars from me. The first 3 books I would say are 4 stars each from me. So a slight step down, but I definitely enjoyed myself enough to just literally immediately pick up the 6th book and read the first 2 chapters. So call me what you want. Clearly it's entertaining me still because I just jumped right into the 6th book, no holds barred. Not a whole lot to report because I'm 18 pages in, but alas. So yeah, lots to read still. My sister is doing the tandem read. That brings up a good point. Am I doing the tandem read for this series? No. My sister's doing the tandem read, and for those who do not know, let me pull out the other book. The tandem read is a phenomenon known only to this series and these 2 books. So, to my understanding, this is book 6 and book 7 in the Throne of Glass series. Events in this book take place on one continent. Events in this book take place on another continent, but the timelines are the same. So they happen simultaneously, the events. You know, this follows one set of characters, this follows another, and people read them at the same time. So they'll flip-flop between the 2. I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this, but essentially they'll read a couple chapters in this. There's a whole guide online that you can print out, and it will be like read chapters 1 through 3 here, and then flip over to this book and read chapters 1 and 2, and then back to here for 4, 5, and then back to here for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or so on and so forth. I don't know exactly. And I don't know if that's just like, that like doesn't make sense to me. People say they do that because this book is like slower than this book and they want to break it up, and so there's like constant action throughout. I mean, to me, this whole series has been like constant action, so I think this book will be a breath of fresh air, honestly. And yeah, I don't really get the whole tandem read thing. Kudos to you if you do it. I mean, another big part of it is I just don't want to walk around with 2 700-page books wherever I go. And that's that. So yeah, I'll read them in publication order. I think that's what the author recommends as well. Clearly she wrote the books as 2 separate books. In my opinion, if she wrote them as just one big book, then I would do it that way, but she didn't, and I'm not reading it that way. So there you go. That's my hot take for the week, I guess. Yeah, I guess that is all for me books-wise this week. I'm coming off the deload. We'll transition to more some like, I don't know, diet, nutrition talk. Coming off the deload, I'm down 14 pounds in 13 weeks. Yeah, 13 weeks. So it's, I mean, progress is going. That's about the pace I want to go at. Deload week, last deload workout was this morning, so back to full steam ahead tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to. Leg day tomorrow, so we'll see how heavy I actually take it. Yeah, just focusing on, I don't know, nutrition and not being an idiot, and we'll see how things go. Still making progress in the right direction, and yeah, that's that. I've been into more car research this week. This is just like a complete side note. My brother recently bought a new car, and usually when someone in the family buys a new car, it like sparks everyone else to go start looking for a new car. And I was doing some research, and it just reaffirmed me as to some of like my car goals that I have. I drive a pretty sweet car right now, at least sweet to me. I drove a Ford Fiesta ST, which I love. It's a little rocket go-kart thing. And it just got me thinking, like, what cars do I want to own within my lifetime. I mean, I'm only 24. I live in an apartment without a garage, and so like it doesn't make sense for me to own like a pretty stupid car, regardless of like if I could afford it at this point in time or not. But it got me looking for sure. I've narrowed this down for a while now, basically since they came out. But my like ideal, in my opinion, my perfect daily driver, I think I've sort of broken it up into like 3 categories as to what like perfect world scenario if I was given, you know, some amount of money, not unlimited amount of money, but just like some amount of money, what would my ideal cars look like reasonable cars that I feel like I could achieve in this lifetime. That sounds like super morbid, but whatever. So I think my like ideal daily driver would be a Honda Civic Type R. Whatever the newest, I think it's the FL5 is the newest generation instead of the FK8. Get one of those, like a 2022 Civic Type R. You could probably get one for I don't know, someone just parked right next to me, and that's not a parking spot where they parked, so we'll see. Sorry. Yeah, get one of those. That's sort of my ideal daily driver. It's a sporty hot hatch. I drive a sporty hot hatch, so I guess it sort of checks out. This is like the king of all hot hatches, the Type R, whereas my Fiesta ST is like the entry into hot hatches. And I've liked my Fiesta ST for so long since I've had it, and I've always liked the Honda Civic Type R since it came out in 2018, I think, maybe 2017. I've wanted one for a while, and I think that's like a realistic car to have maybe in the next 10 years or so is something I'm looking for. Apart from that, I sort of separate it out into 2 more tasks. Obviously with the Type R being like a daily driver, it's not stupid. It's like decently reliable. I mean, it's a Honda Civic at the end of the day. It's a 4-door hatchback. Plenty of storage, you can haul people around, but it's like fun enough on the day-to-day roads. It's also not like wildly dangerous and have like crazy amounts of horse. It's not like a, I don't know, ZR1 Corvette with 700 horsepower rear wheel drive. Those are pretty sweet, but I think daily driving that would be a pain in the ass, literally. So Civic Type R is sort of where I'm looking at. Like I said, the next category of like dream cars, not daily drivers, but like weekend cars, I'll call them. I have like an attainable dream car, and then a sort of unrealistic pie in the sky dream car that I've wanted for so literally since I can remember. If you know, I'm in it. Let me speak here real quick. Holy shit. So I'm 24. Born in 2001. I grew up playing the GameCube. Big into video games my entire life since I can remember. Since I was probably 5, I played video games on the GameCube. Favorite game in the GameCube of all time, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. Came out in 2002. My favorite car in that game is a Lotus Elise. 2002 Lotus Elise. And that is like my realistic dream car, weekend car, I'll say it. Funny enough, it's like the same price as a Civic Type R, but it's literally not practical at all. Look up like what the interior of a Lotus Elise looks like, and it's bare bones. It has AC, and an AM FM radio, and that is it. There's no cup holders. It's 5-speed manual, 190 horsepower. The whole car weighs like less than 2,000 pounds. And I think that car is sweet. I want one as like my fun weekend car. And they're not like wildly unrealistic to get into. I think they're about 50 grand, which is like a shit ton of money still. Like I said, the Type R in 10 years, like who knows, the Lotus Elise in 20 years, we'll see. Who knows if there'll even be enough around in 20 years, as there already are 20 plus years old. So we'll see. It's nice to have dreams. And then my unrealistic dream car, I don't really know. I don't like the big I mean, Lamborghinis and whatnot, those are like cool. I think those were like, I'm just thinking like realistically, those would be a pain in the neck to like keep up with maintenance wise. Everything is so expensive, but if I had to pick one, I'd have to pick a 2008 Lamborghini Gallardo with the gated manual. The V10, I think, comes in it. Purely just for like driving once a month. I'm not like a showy person. Clearly, I literally like my biggest spending habit is buying books. So like I'm not gonna buy a freaking Lamborghini, nor can I. At this point in my life or any point in the near future, but I think it would be like cool to have one of those. I mean, obviously, if I was gifted $100,000, I would go and I wouldn't actually go and buy one. I'd buy a house, but I would think twice about doing it. So yeah, Lotus Elise, definitely want to have a garage to keep that thing in. It's pure British sports car at its finest. And yeah, this is definitely a tangent that I did not know I was going to go on. Let me know down below what kind of cars you drive if you're into cars as I am. Maybe what's your attainable and we'll call it realistic and unrealistic dream cars. I know I just listed out my two there. So yeah, there you go. I guess that'll do it for me here. Everything books, cars, lifting, nutrition. I guess that's all I really do. So yeah, consider subscribing if that sounds interesting to you. Give it a like if you liked it and things of that nature. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for hanging out, guys.